Okay, hi. I had no intention of making this video. I will not be editing it because I just need to post it. Um, let's start with where I've been and continue with I have no idea now when I'll be back. This is my emotional support Spooky Bear and my emotional support pumpkin stress ball, okay? Great, got that out of the way. So earlier in this year, 2025 was kind of a dumpster fire for me mentally. Really was struggling with a lot of things and potentially now have some answers for why that was happening. But regardless, I was seeing my therapist consistently. It got to a point where she was like, you either need to go inpatient or you need to be on an antidepressant. And I said, you know what, we'll try first? The antidepressant. So I got a psychiatrist. She's wonderful. I love her. And I started on the medicine. Worked right away. Wow, having serotonin in your brain is kind of incredible. And the fact that people just walk around like that all day, every day, must be nice. Yeah, because now I know what it feels like to feel that way. So, needless to say, we figured out my serotonin. It took me a couple months of trying different doses while also withdrawing from another medication that I didn't want to be on anymore for anxiety because the new medicine I'm on was doing both, babe, okay? Get you a medicine that does both. Talk to your doctor. This is not medical advice. So we fixed the espressi depressi. Great. I went back to the gym in May for the first time in over a year because I had a surgery in 2024 that took me over 9 months to fully recover because I kept getting infections and the surgical sites wouldn't close or heal. So, anyway, started working out again in May, which was great for me. However, I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and so my body, while it on one hand responded really great, it was like, oh my gosh, we feel so good, we're strong. On the other hand, my joints were like, ouch, 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 and there's not much I could do to have prevented that because I've lived with my EDS my whole life. I used to do CrossFit. I know how to work out safely. I started with 0 pounds. I was just doing stretching and body weight and walking. Okay. So, long story short, I'm a yapper. I don't know how long this is going to be. This was not supposed to be long, but I ended up having to see two different orthopedic doctors. One, because my hip kept dislocating. It dislocated 3 times. Very painful. Tore my labral something. Couldn't have surgery on it because my EDS. If they cut me open to try and fix what I tore, everything would just be looser. There would be no good healing outcome from that. So they put me in physical therapy and it actually did help quite a bit. Haven't had any more dislocations, have to be really careful with just like how I'm sitting, and anyway. The other thing I'm having issues with is my neck, and my neck has been a problem forever. Like pretty much since I was 17. I've had back and neck issues. Again, EDS, okay? So, saw a surgeon for my neck, got an MRI for my neck, started PT for my neck. The MRI for my neck really was an experience. I also have dysautonomia in POTS, and turns out that when I get an MRI now, it really, really, really disrupts my autonomic nervous system, and I went unconscious for over 2 hours. And so my family came home from work, found me unconscious because I called and I was like, I feel real ill. I need you to come home. By the time they got home, I was unconscious, and from my memory, I had been as soon as I hung up. Like, I had maybe 5 minutes after hanging up of remembering things, and then I was out. So I got lights and sirens wee-wooed to the emergency room, where I did eventually wake up on my own. Got IVs, had lots of repeat blood tests because something was abnormal and they had to wait for it to be normal before they could release me. I passed out again in the emergency room, but it was only for a couple minutes, and it was more like my normal POTS episode. So that was September. I got to go home. I had like a week of not feeling good. We're now in October. I'm still doing physical therapy. I meet with the neck surgeon to get my official results from that MRI. And again, it's a thing that eventually I will need surgery on. They need to take one of my discs out and fuse the stuff together, and that's probably the only way to fix the pain that I'm in. However, I'm not a good candidate for surgery now, and I may not ever be a good candidate for surgery again because of hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and also I'm too young, because once they fuse those bones together, the disc above and below it will start to compress naturally and early and degenerate, and they were like, we really wouldn't even recommend this surgery until you were in your 50s, if we were able to do it at all, which they probably couldn't, especially because of the surgery I had in 2024, how that has a 3-week recovery period for normal people, and it took me over 9 months. Okay, getting cut open, my body's like, let's not do that. So that is where we were at. And then, also in the MRI, it was supposed to be just of your neck, but apparently they get your head in there and some of your brain, and I was diagnosed with a new thing I'd never heard of before, and I'm really not happy about it, and it's called empty sella syndrome. And the best way I understand it is your pituitary gland in and around your brain shrinks and sort of isn't there anymore, and the space becomes empty and fills with cerebral fluid. For most people, it doesn't cause any like really severe symptoms. Because of my neck and my other medical history, I also have chronic and ocular migraines. My neck also causes a lot of headaches and tension. This empty sella syndrome also causes severe headaches. And so, good. I had to have my primary care order me a bunch of blood tests to test my hormone levels, because your pituitary gland is in charge of those. And guess what my surgery was for last year? PCOS, because I had a cyst that grew real big on my ovary, and that's also hormone related. Do you see how everything is sort of coming together? And also depression, hormone related. Okay, so I just met with my new specialist this morning, my endocrinologist, and moving forward, based on my blood test my primary care doctor ordered, I have to start a new medication because my hormones not normal. And if they stay not normal, my symptoms will get worse in terms of like my body's gonna think I'm pregnant, and I'm for sure not. So I really don't want to go down that road. So I have to get a new medication. It's like my 18th or 19th medication that I'll be taking daily. I can't wait for that. And the second thing is I have to do repeat lab work of the lab work I already had done, plus a bunch of new lab work for other things, for the hormones and whatnot. The really bad thing is I have to get another longer, more intense MRI of my brain. So last time it was just supposed to be of my neck and the bones in my neck and the discs in my neck. And now it's my brain, and it's going to be contrast and no contrast, and I will be in the hospital because of what happened last time. And so I say all of this to tell you, I don't know when the fuck I'm coming back. I last week had halfway edited my next Epic the Musical reaction, and was so planning on having that posted, not this week, but next week, because my Thursday this week, which is today, is Tuesday. my Thursday this week is the day I was going to sit down and finish it and then post it next week. And I was like, yes, if I keep doing this, I'll have one video for October, one video for November, and one video for December, and we'll finish Epic the Musical, and I'll start recording K-pop reactions again, and I'll get to do all the things, and my body is just kind of like, actually, you're gonna continue taking more of a break, especially because the empty sella syndrome could be caused by a tumor in my brain. And that is just something the doctor said before I really gave them my family history. So my family history is that my mom had this exact tumor. She had surgeries to have it removed. She's been on medication her whole life to try and prevent it from regrowing. And she has to get MRIs every year to check the status of the tumor. So, there's a very good chance that that's what it is. So this morning I found out there's a very good chance that I have a brain tumor, and that is so scary. And the good thing is it would be benign, and potentially I wouldn't even need surgery. I would just need medication and consistent lab testing, blood work, and consistent MRIs, which for me is really going to be the hardest part because I will be in the hospital for every MRI, and it makes me really sick for about a week before my body sort of like regulates and goes back to what my normal is, which is already not firing on all cylinders. And I figured I had to come on and make a video now. Because before I was just like dealing with depression and trying not to be depressed, and then I was also just dealing with a lot of physical therapy. And so far, August, September, October, I have had maybe 3 doctor appointments every single week. Like, going to the doctor is my full-time job. That's where I'm at, and I have to make the video now because I really don't know when I'm going to be able to come back. I don't know mentally if I'm going to be in the headspace on Thursday to edit that video and finish it. I just really don't know. I was not expecting possible tumor to be the outcome of my appointment this morning. So, that's where we're at. Also, I have a boyfriend now, and he's so sweet and wonderful, and I just wanted to add that because I want to end on a positive note. And he got me this bear, and he also got me my little stress pumpkin. So, he's wonderful. I feel very lucky to have him, especially right now. That's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm gonna go, and hopefully you'll see me again soon. And I'll have the Epic the Musical reactions out as soon as I can. So thank you for waiting. I see all your comments where you're like, are you okay? And I'm just in the background like, I don't know. So here's an update. Okay, not the one I wanted to make. And hopefully I can make another one really soon in like December when I get my results and be like, no tumor, I'm fine. Except like I still have the empty sella because it won't go away. That's just me now. I have a hole in my brain. So great. Okay. I hope you guys are having a happy spooky season. I've been doing a lot of really fun spooky things with the boy and having such a good time. And yeah, I hope you're having a happy spooky time. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season if I don't see you before the holidays. And so sorry it took me so long to come back and give you any sort of update. I was just really hoping my next video back would be the reaction, so anyway, thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.